Hello my dear detectives of the internet, and welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving deep into a case that feels like it was ripped straight from a Hollywood thriller. It all began with a single cryptic invitation, delivered in a sleek black envelope. There was no sender, no return address, just a simple embossed logo and a single line. The game is on. This wasn't just any game. It was a sinister game of cat and mouse, with stakes that were chillingly real. The consequences were deadly. Imagine being a detective, used to solving crimes from the outside, suddenly thrust into the very center of one. That's exactly what happened to Detective Miles Corbin. He received the invitation and, against his better judgment, found himself compelled to play. The rules were simple. Solve a series of elaborate puzzles, each more complex than the last, to unlock the next clue. Fail, and someone pays the price. The city became his chessboard, and he was the unwilling pawn. As Miles raced against the clock, he found himself thinking, I have to think fast to stay alive. Each puzzle leads to the next, but what's the ultimate prize? The puzzles were diabolical. A riddle hidden in a library's forgotten tome. A cipher etched onto a subway window. A time challenge in a crowded public square. With every puzzle solved, he felt a momentary rush of relief, quickly replaced by the gnawing dread of what came next. The game master, a shadowy figure known only as the architect, seemed to be everywhere and nowhere at once, always one step ahead. Miles knew he wasn't just playing for clues. He was playing for his life and the lives of others the architect had targeted. The pressure was immense. The media dubbed it the deadly game, and the public watched, a mix of horror and fascination. Miles had to isolate himself, trusting no one, as the architect had proven they could manipulate anyone. He analyzed every clue, not just for its solution, but for what it revealed about his opponent. The puzzles were personal, referencing obscure details from his past cases, moments of both triumph and failure. This wasn't random. The architect knew him, and this knowledge was their most dangerous weapon. Miles realized the game was designed to break him, to push him to his absolute limit. But Miles was a detective to his core. He began to see a pattern, a psychological signature hidden within the chaos. He started thinking, what if the game itself is the distraction? While everyone, including the police, was focused on solving the next puzzle, Miles began to look beyond the game. He started to profile the architect. Who had this level of intelligence? Who had the resources to pull this off? And most importantly, who held such a deep personal grudge against him? The answer wasn't in the puzzles, but in the spaces between them. This change in perspective was the breakthrough. Miles realized that the architect wanted him to be consumed by the game, to be so focused on winning that he'd missed the real objective. The game was just a distraction. The real challenge, the true endgame, was uncovering the game master's true identity. Miles shifted his focus from the what to the who. He pored over his old case files looking for anyone he might have wronged, anyone who might have slipped through the cracks of the justice system, someone with the motive and the means to orchestrate such a grand twisted scheme of revenge. After days of relentless investigation, ignoring the ticking clock of the next puzzle, Miles found it. A single name from a case years ago. A suspect he had dismissed, a detail he had overlooked, and in that moment, everything clicked into place. The final showdown wasn't in a booby-trapped warehouse or at the end of a complex cipher. It was a face-to-face confrontation, raw and unfiltered. Miles confronted the person not as the architect but by their real name. The mask was off, and the game master's motive was personal. It was a story of perceived betrayal, of a life ruined, with Miles at the center of the blame. The entire game, the intricate puzzles, the danger, it was all an elaborate, tragic attempt to make Miles feel the same powerlessness and despair that the architect had felt for years. In the end, the game was over. The architect was apprehended, but the victory felt hollow for Miles. The case left a scar, a chilling reminder that the line between justice and vengeance can sometimes be terrifyingly thin. It's a story that really makes you think about the consequences of our actions. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive. What are your thoughts on this incredible case? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoy unraveling mysteries like this, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an investigation. Until next time, stay curious.